Okay, so today we are starting with matrices. How do we create matrix? How do we uh, modify it? How we can access elements through it? So, before discussing matrix, let us discuss first the vectors and data frames in brief. We did it in the last class. Okay, vectors. I told you vectors has some values. Okay. There are three kinds of vectors. One is numeric vector, another is character vector, and third one is logical vector. So numeric vector means there can be numbers in it. Marks, for example, 34, 56. So this is a numeric vector. It has few values in it. Okay. But if it is a numeric vector, then all the elements, all the items should be numeric only. You cannot mix and match. Then we have another type of vector is character vector. Character vector में क्या होता है? Names होते हैं. Like text होता है, sorry. So I am taking an example of names. It can be anything which has text in it. So name, uh, I am writing 3 names. Okay. Now, this has text. When we create these vectors in R, numbers, we can write what command do we have to use? We have to use syntax command, which is called C, small c. Okay. This we use to combine all the values in the vector. Now, when we write the text, when we write numbers, we don't have to put them in inverted commas. But whenever we write character vector, anything which has text in it, we have to put it in inverted commas. Then logical vector. Logical vector means if some answers of the questions are in the form of yes or no, or whether student has passed the exam or not. So answer, when the answer is in the form of yes or no, it is called true or false in R. So for example, the girl uh, having 34 marks has not passed the exams or has answered few questions as false. So what do we write? False. Let me change it to pass. So logical vector is in the form of true and false. That means this girl has not passed the exam. This is, if I'm writing true here, that means this student has passed the exam. I'm again writing true here. This has also passed the exam. So these are separate vectors. Then we did data frames, if you remember. If I am collecting all these separate vectors in one table, that is called a data frame. It is a 2D structure which has rows as well as columns. Okay, so I am writing marks is my first column, names is my second column, and this result is my third column. Okay, now it has become a data frame. Now, this data frame having rows or columns, the rows denote an observation. For example, this is student 1. Student 1 is Neha having marks 34, and then her result is not pass. Okay. This is an observation number 2. This is another student. This is observation number 3. So in rows, it shows the number of observations. Okay. Now, what does the column shows? Column shows the different attributes. First attribute is marks containing numbers. Another attribute is names, or you can enter one more attribute which is called gender. Again, it will be text, right? So the columns are showing the attributes and the rows are showing the observations. Now, different vectors have been collected into one table and this is called data frame, right? Again, if I want to give this table a name, that is going to be the name of my data frame. For example, I gave a name yesterday as students. So students is my data frame which contains different vectors, columns and rows. Now today we are starting with matrices. Anyone knows what is matrices? Matrices is basically the arrangement of numbers in rows and columns, right? It is just like a data frame. It looks like a data frame only. It is a 2D structure where we have rows and columns, but the difference is that it has the same type. Can you see in the data frame, it has different types. It has numeric type also, it has character type also, it has logical type also. But uh, a matrix cannot have different kinds of data. It has to be same data. For example, numbers. So it is just like a table of numbers arranged in rows and columns. For example, I have a table of mark sheet of students in 3 subjects. So those 3 subjects are maths, science, I can say, or English. These are columns. And then I have 3 students, let's say Harsh, Ayush, and Madhvi. Okay. So now this is also, these rows and columns will also be filled, but it will be filled with numbers now. 90, for example, 80, 70, this is 50, 60, 55, 75, 80. I'm just putting the numbers randomly. Okay. So matrices, arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. Student Harsh has 90 marks in maths, 50 marks in science, and 75 marks in English. Similarly, Ayush has 80, 60, and 85 marks in all the 3 subjects. Now, this is a matrix. This 90, 50, 75, individually they are called elements. Elements of a matrix. Okay. These elements should be of the same types. As I said, these all are numbers here. Now, this matrix has an order. Do you understand by the term order? We write order as number of rows and number of columns. Okay. So this matrix has, what order it has? 3, number of rows are 3 and number of columns are also 3. So this matrix has an order of 3 by 3. For example, if I write this matrix, what order it has? It has an order of, how many rows are there? 3 rows, and number of columns are 2 here. So here the order is 3 by 2. Okay. So now we have discussed what is matrix. Now let's move to R. How do we create matrix in R? Okay. Right. So I want to create a matrix in R. You know, let me take a new sheet and clean it. Okay, we can do one thing from here. I am just going to Tools, Global Options, and Pane Layout. I want uh, just 2 windows right now because we are not working on graphs as of now and we are not importing any file also. So let me shift the console to the right side. Okay. Now, since I want these 2 windows, so I have got the console here. Now, so before creating, I want to tell you a basic concept which we have been using continuously, but it has a very much relevance. For example, sometimes you must have seen, to get the result, I type the same variable which I have created. And at times, only by clicking the run command, I get the result. Sometimes by clicking, I do not get the result. Sometimes I get the result. So why is it like sometimes we have to print the results and sometimes the results come on its own? For example, if I am entering the numbers or entering the data directly without creating any variable. For example, I'm writing 2 plus 3. And now I'm running this command. Either I will press run or I will click run or I will press control plus enter. Can you see the result has come on its own? 5. Similarly, if I am doing 4 raised to the power, for the power we use hat sign, 4 raised to the power 3. Now, I don't have to print the results now. I will just click run. I am getting the answer. Now, when you create a variable, how do we create a variable? For example, I am creating a variable x. Okay, small x, let me create variable x, and I am giving this value to x. This x is the variable created by me. Okay, so x is equal to 20. Now, I am creating another variable y, and I am giving this a value as 35. Now I am creating another variable. How many variables I have created as till now? X and y, 2 variables. Now I am creating another variable z, which is equal to x plus y. Now I am running this command x. It says x20. Now I'm running this y command, and now I'm running this z command. Can you see the answer has not come? What should be the answer? 20 plus 35? 45 should be the answer. When I was doing it here, I was getting the answer directly. But when I am creating variables, I am not getting the answer directly. What do I have to do here? I have to print the result. So to get the result, either I will give command print Z or only Z. If I'm writing print Z, I'm again telling you I can only write Z also here. Okay, I'm right Z. Now I am running this command. Can you see? It 55 has come. Now, if I want what was there in my X, I can run X. X is showing 20 in the output. I want Y, it will show me 35. So this is the difference when we create variables and when we do the things directly and we are entering the things directly. Okay. Now, let us start with, I am cleaning this console. So this was the basic concept. Now I am actually starting with my topic of creating a matrix. So I am creating a matrix. I'm just giving a comment, creating a matrix. Okay. For example, I am giving a name to my matrix A. This is my matrix A. Okay. And this is my matrix B. I am creating matrix A here. A is equal to, now the A is variable name I have given to it. To create a matrix, the function is matrix. I don't know, it is not coming. Let me just restart. If your our studio stops responding, at times it does, so you can restart it. Okay. So I'm supposed to write here creating a matrix. Let's see how we do it. I'm giving a name A to my matrix and the function is matrix. Now it is coming. See, it says matrix create some matrix from given set of values. I have to give values to it. And since there is not one number, there are multiple numbers in it. So the command which I have to give is C, which will combine all the numbers. For example, I'm giving 1, 4, 5, 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 numbers I have given and I want to create a matrix of 3 by 3. So I will write here n row is equal to 3. कि मुझे ये numbers जो है वो 3 rows में matrix में create कर दो. ठीक है? I will print the command. अच्छा, यहाँ पे मुझे print क्यों करनी पड़ेगी command? क्योंकि मैंने variable create करा है. Okay. I am printing and let me get the results. I'm clicking the error object. Can you see there is an error? Why this error is showing? Because I forgot to run the previous command. क्योंकि a matrix की command उसने नहीं लिया create करने की, तो print कैसे कर देगा? So I have to run this command and then I will run this command A. Now it will give me. Okay. It has given me a matrix. These numbers it has arranged in 3 rows. Okay. Now, I want to see the class of this matrix. Class of matrix A. The name of my matrix is A. Control enter. क्लास क्या बताता है हमें? टाइप. किस क्या टाइप है वो? वेक्टर का, डेटा फ्रेम का. ये मैट्रिक्स है तो इसने बोला कि ये मैट्रिक्स एरे है. ओके. नाउ आई वांट टू सी द एट्रीब्यूट्स ऑफ दिस मैट्रिक्स. How I will see the attributes? I will give the command attributes. What attribute, what output it is showing? 3 by 3. That means attributes is showing me the order of the matrix. Okay. Now, let's see another thing. Let me create. Okay. Let me tell you one thing. If you see these numbers 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you see this matrix, by default, these numbers have been arranged column wise. 1 के बाद 4 आ रहा है. And you see the output. 1 के बाद 4 कहाँ पे आया है? नीचे आया उसके कॉलम में. 4 के बाद 5 है. 5 कहाँ आया है? नीचे आया. फिर ऐसे आया 1. आउटपुट में देखो 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 4. So first it is filling the columns and then moving to the second row. Now, if I want my numbers to be shown in rows, I want the numbers to be in rows, not in columns. By default, it is taking in columns. But let me create another matrix which is called B. Let me create the same matrix. I am creating the same matrix, but now I want row wise. This, it should go like 1, 2. I mean, let me show you by writing it. I want like this 1 and then 4 here and then 6 here. Sorry, 5 here. Then I want to move to the next 6, then 7, like this. Okay, earlier it was coming vertically. Now what do I have to do? एक extra आ गया है. Okay, n तो 3 है, but here I will give one more command which is, इसके आगे भी दे सकते हैं, पीछे भी दे सकते हैं. By row. By row means इन numbers को organize करो by row में. ठीक है. Now, अब by row क्या लिखना है हमने? True. Let me show you here. Let me write it here. Just give me a second. N row, sorry, by row equals to true. ठीक है. फॉल्स हमें लिखना नहीं पड़ता, बट वो हम उसको कमांड दे रहे हैं कि यस बाय रो में वो उसको ट्रू करो. ठीक है. यस मीन्स उसको रो में कर. Let me see what mistake I'm doing here. Let me write it here. By matrix this I have created. This will not come here, I guess. Unexpected symbol in B matrix. Let me try it again. B equals to matrix. Now I am creating a matrix here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now I want this matrix to be in, there are 6 है, तो 3 by 3 की matrix तो नहीं बनेगी. It will be, let me say, by row equals to true. मतलब मैं चाह रही हूँ उसको कि वो रो वाइज बनाए, and I want the number of rows to be 2 by 3. Okay, now it's running. Now I want to print B. How is it coming? Can you see this matrix? Now 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 is coming row wise, not column wise. Okay. Okay. So now I again want to see the attributes of this. What does attribute tell us? The order of the matrix. It says the order of this matrix is 2 by 3. पहले rows होती है, number of rows, then number of columns. So it has 2 number of rows and 3 number of columns now. Okay. Let us see some more functions in matrix. Transpose. सबको पता है ना ट्रांसपोज क्या होता है? ट्रांसपोज ऑफ अ मैट्रिक्स. ट्रांसपोज होता है when the rows becomes columns and column becomes rows. So ये उल्टा हो जाएगा. Okay. So there is a very simple command for the transpose in R, just the C. But I have to give it another name to the matrix. New matrix will be formed. So I am giving it a name as C. And the transpose command is just the small t. किसका transpose चाहिए मुझे? For say I want the transpose of matrix B. अभी तक मैंने 3 मैट्रिक्स क्रिएट करी, मैट्रिक्स A, मैट्रिक्स B and matrix C is a new matrix which will be the transpose of matrix B. Now I have to print the result. Let me show you the print also. It gives the same thing. Print C or only C. Can you see this? It's just see in the output. This matrix and this matrix. The rows and columns got exchanged. Okay. So this is about transpose. And let me see what else can we do. Okay, let us see how can we access the elements. We did the same concept in vector and data frame also. Access the elements. Anybody remembers how do we access the elements of any form of whether it is vector, array? How do we access? We use square bracket, right? Now, yes. So now I want to access the element of matrix C, which I've just created. Here it is. I want, sorry, here. The cursor again and again goes into the console part. For example, I want the element of third row and second column. What answer should I expect? Third row in this C is this one. Sorry. This is the third row and second column. What answer should I expect? The element is 6. Let me see if it is giving me 6. Yes, it says it is 6. Let me try another. If I give element, I want 3 by 3 element. What will it give me? Error. Subscript is out of bounds. Subscript out of bounds. Can you see 3 by 3 element here? No. This matrix is 3 by 2 only. There is no third column. So that is why it is showing an error. If I want first column, I want first column in second row. I will write row, I write first, and then column I write the second place. Just saying the element is 2. So this is how we access the elements. Okay. Now let us see some other things. Okay, let's perform operations of addition, multiplication, subtraction. Okay. Now we are performing operations. कैसे operations? Let us try addition, multiplication, subtraction. Okay. I am creating, I have this matrix. Let me show you the functions with this matrix only. For example, I want to multiply the matrix C with 3, number 3. Multiplication sign is star, and I want to do it 3 into C. Let me see what the result. देखो इसने क्या कर दिया, इस एलिमेंट्स को सबको 3 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया. I want this to be 3 into C. Please mute yourself, whosoever is on unmute. I think Anubhav, you are on unmute. Please mute yourself. 3 into C plus 5. अब ये C को 3 से मल्टीप्लाई करेगा और सारे एलिमेंट्स में 5 भी ऐड कर देगा. कैन यू सी इट हैज एडेड 5. 3 into C तो पहले ही था. ये क्या हुआ? 3 plus 5 8, 12 plus 5 17. Similarly, we can do the subtraction also. Now, coming to addition and subtraction of matrices. Anubhav, please mute yourself. Now, there is a condition when we add, subtract, or multiply matrices. If you remember, we can do addition and subtraction only when the matrices are of same order. We cannot add matrices which have different orders. Okay. Now, let us see how many do we have matrix. Our A matrix was 3 by 3. Our B matrix was 2 by 3. C matrix was 3 by 2. Okay, let me create one more matrix. I have C matrix as 3 by 2. Let me create one more matrix D which has same order 3 by 2. So I will write matrix D. Okay. For creating 3 by 2 matrix, I want 6 elements. I can write 1 to 6. वो मुझे sequence में दे देगा. ठीक है. 1 to 6. Number of rows I want 3. 3 चाहिए ना? तभी 3 by 2 matrix बनेगी. Let me print the matrix. Okay. Now I have C matrix, which is 3 by 2 order. And I have D matrix, which is 3 by 2 order. Now I can do the subtraction or addition. D plus E. Sorry. C plus D. They are of same order. देखो add कर दिया इसने. ठीक है. ये वाली मत देखना, ऊपर वाली देखना. सी मैट्रिक्स जो थी हमारे पास 1 4 2 5 6. पहला एलिमेंट 1 था और डी का पहला एलिमेंट भी 1 है. सो सी प्लस डी में देखो फर्स्ट एलिमेंट 2 आ गया. सिमिलरली वी कैन डू सी माइनस डी ऑल्सो. 0 0 0 आ गया क्योंकि पहले प्लस किया था माइनस किया तो मैट्रिक्स ये आ गई. ना एडिशन सब्ट्रैक्शन देख लिया. Now coming to the multiplication part, which is kind of complex in mathematics also. Not very complex, but I just want to show you. This matrix has order 3 by 3. इसमें क्या होता है, हमारी डायमेंशंस मैच करनी चाहिए तभी हमारा आंसर आता है. ठीक है. इफ यू रिमेम्बर हमने क्या किया था, ऑर्डर कैसे, डायमेंशंस कैसे मैच होती है. इसका ऑर्डर है 3 by 3, इसका ऑर्डर है 2 by 2. लेट मी शो यू. जो इसका नंबर ऑफ लास्ट वाला जो होता है, इसका नंबर ऑफ, इसके नंबर फर्स्ट मैट्रिक्स के नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स विच इज 3 और सेकेंड मैट्रिक्स के नंबर ऑफ रोज विच इज 3. दिस ऑर्डर शुड बी द सेम. अगर ये ऑर्डर सेम होगा, 3 और 3 होगा, तभी ही कैलकुलेशन मल्टीप्लिकेशन होगी मैट्रिक्स की. एंड द रिजल्टिंग मैट्रिक्स वुड बी रिमेनिंग. इसका फर्स्ट विच इज नंबर ऑफ रोज और इसका सेकेंड विच इज नंबर ऑफ कॉलम्स. हमारा मल्टीप्लिकेशन तभी पॉसिबल है. ठीक है. लेट मी गिव यू अनदर एग्जाम्पल. वी हैव वन matrix which has order 4 by 2 and we have another matrix which has order 2 by 3. The number of columns of first matrix is 2 and the number of rows of second matrix is 2. ये दोनों सेम होंगे तो ही हमारा रिजल्ट जो है वो पॉसिबल है. रिजल्ट क्या, मल्टीप्लिकेशन पॉसिबल है, अदरवाइज इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. और रिजल्टिंग मैट्रिक्स क्या बनेगी, 4 into 3, this and this. If my matrix is 4 by 1 and another matrix is 3 by 1, multiplication will not be possible here because this and this is not same. Okay, let us come back to R. And if you will do the multiplication of, let's see, let us multiply. कौन सी मल्टीप्लाई कर सकते हैं हम यहाँ पे, लेट अस ट्राई. हमारा बी का ऑर्डर था 2 by 3 और सी का ऑर्डर था 3 by 2. So let us try multiplying B and C. B, C. Okay, there is a difference. Now, when we normally multiply elements, we just have to use the star. But when we multiply matrices, we can't use only star. We have to use, I'm writing B here, इसमें मल्टीप्लीकेशन होता है परसेंटेज into again percentage C. These are the signs which we use in matrix multiplication. If we have to multiply elements, we just put a star, multiply. Now I am reprinting BC. देखा multiply हो गया. Let me try multiplying C and D. C और D जो है वो same order है. C and D has same order. Okay. How do I multiply? First I will write C percentage star again percentage D. Let me multiply. It says non-conformable argument. मतलब इसकी dimensions ही match नहीं कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, डायमेंशंस मैच नहीं कर रही है बिकॉज इनका ऑर्डर सी का ऑर्डर था 3/2 और इसका ऑर्डर भी था. लेट मी शो यू. सी का ऑर्डर था 3/2 और डी का ऑर्डर भी था 3/2. देखो ये 2 और ये 3 मैच ही नहीं कर रहा, इसलिए यहाँ पे एरर शो कर रहा है, नॉन कंफर्मेबल आर्ग्यूमेंट. ओके, clear? So let us come to the summary of this. If we have, okay, one more small command which we can use, adding row and column names. Okay, कैसे हम rows और names के rows और columns के names दे सकते हैं. If you have seen in Excel, हमारे पास यहाँ पे नाम थे, students name and subject names. But when we created matrix in R, we don't have any names of rows and columns. So if we want to give the names and rows to the columns, let me give the name to this BC matrix. Okay. What I will do, I will write row name, रो नेम्स. रो को नेम देना है तो फंक्शन है रो नेम्स. ठीक है, मेरी मैट्रिक्स का नाम क्या है, बी एंड सी. आई वॉन्ट टू गिव दिस इक्वल टू 2 रोज है और 2 कॉलम्स है. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं देना चाहती हूँ, फर्स्ट आई विल पुट सी कमांड हेयर फर्स्ट. Since I am writing text, so I will put it in inverted commas. Row 1, comma, inverted commas again, row 2. Okay, let me run this command. Let me see. Can you see? Here, row 1 and row 2 are written. Now I want to give names to the columns also. So I will use the command call names. Call names of which matrix? B. This should be equal to combine command C and inverted commas. I want to give the name A. I want to give the name column 1, column 2. Call 1, comma, call 2. Okay, so these names will appear. I'm printing the result of this matrix. Can you see now the rows and names have, the names of rows and columns are showing here. Okay, let us come to the end of this matrix part. What all we have discussed in matrix, how can we create matrix, right? How can we create matrix? Then we did seeing the attributes or class of matrix, transpose of matrix. How can we access the elements, performing operations of addition, multiplication, subtraction, and then adding rows and column names. Okay.